is Friday. It's a great Friday. Every day. Today is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. I have my Nipsey shirt on today. hmm hmm And today's a great day, and I'm just excited. I did something today that is, well, this morning. It's still early in the morning, so um, yeah, little bald headed self. So I sent an email to this. I sent my first email today to this organization. It's called A Hope and a Faith, and they are geared towards helping foster kids age out of foster care. So I was really excited that I mustered up the guts to send the email today. So, God willing, someone will reach back out to me. It's a mentorship program. So I'm super excited about that. And I'm also in like this little speakers group. It's called the Next Level Speakers Academy, and this is how God be working. And so I posted that, in this little group-based chat that we have, and this lady reached out to me, and she has her own personal organization that she also does in Atlanta. She mentors foster kids, and she said something to me. She's like, "Well, I don't like to use," and I don't want to say like she was being nasty or anything. Well, I don't use the term foster care. She also stated that she was a ward of the state. I mean, that's pretty much that's the exact same thing, to be honest with you. And it's like, she then proceeded to say, well, I don't identify as foster care, foster kid, or that's what they identify us as, which is absolutely true. But at the same time, being a foster kid and being in foster care, those are the exact same things. That's what they labeled us as. That's what they called us. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like being a foster care, being in foster care and being a foster kid, that has power in the name, because we have overcome, the odds and the statistics. If you can be in foster care and give back to other kids that are in foster care, that's a very powerful thing. So it's like when you know, you say that name, it gives you back, to me, it gives me back power. Me being in foster care and being a foster kid, I'm not ashamed of that. That's who I was. That's the life I lived. That was my normalcy. So, but I'm going to Atlanta next month for my speakers conference, and she wants to tap in with me and connect. So I'm just like, God is always working. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, when God calls you to do His work, He will make sure that your name and that your name is coming out of the mouth of people that you don't even know yet. Like, so I'm super excited about that. I can't wait to be able to link up with her, and she's been doing this for a very long time, just based off the brief conversation that we had. So I'm super excited to go and network and meet people, and see how they started off, and tell my story to these children, because that's what they are. They're children, and they're in foster care, and they're in the foster care system. It's, you go from system to system. It's a systematic, way of thinking. That's the way they want you to think. You go from the foster care system to the prison system. And the thing is that it's like, me being in the foster care and being in the foster care system, I had no idea that, when people, private entities decide to build private prisons, they base that off of how many kids are in foster care in that particular area, in that particular community. Could you imagine, you're put into a system that's meant for you to fail. You're put into the foster care system. They build these private prisons based off of you being in the foster care system because they know the odds and the statistics of you going to prison is extraordinarily high. So they make sure that you go from system to system. I can't believe that. I mean, that's the part that behooves me. Like, honestly, like that is extremely sad that we live in a day and time where people actually think like that. You know what I'm saying? And it's extremely sad. And it's like I said, I've been in foster care since I was 2 years old, and I had no idea. So it's like you go from one system to the next, and they build the system based off of foster care children. I mean, wow, that's a lot, that's a lot. And I just want to be able to bring awareness to that. So I'm extremely excited. I am extremely excited for the things that God has planned for me. So, like I said, if God calls you to do something, just be an active listener. Just, do as much as you can, do your part, because we were all, we're meant to be here and help each other, and everyone has very similar stories regardless of what background you came from, regardless if you have a 2-parent household, regardless if you was raised by a single mother or a single father, or raised in a foster home, or raised in a group home. It's like everyone has a similar story, and you can relate, and if you can relate to just one person, I mean, the odds are, endless. The impossibility that you can be able to go out here and help people and help children that are just like you, that were just like you. You want them to see that they can make it out of this system. Even though this system was set up and made for you to fail, you do not have to be a statistic. You don't have to fall victim to that. And a lot of kids do, because they do feel that's all they have, It's like, I mean, thank God that me and my siblings were all raised in the same foster home, but it's like, how would it have been if we had lived separate lives, I mean, even though we were all raised in the foster home, a lot of them, my siblings, are broken, they're shattered, they can't build relationships, they still dwell on what happened to them in that foster home. The fact that their mother can't love them the way that they want to be loved, that's a lot to deal with. That's a lot to deal with, and it's a lot to carry on in your adulthood. And you can carry that on to your children. It's just repeating the cycle, generational depression. And it goes from one generation to the next. It's like, that's not going to be me and my children. No. Absolutely not. And if God has called me to help other kids to be aware of this as well, that you're not just a foster kid. Even though that's what they call you, that's not what you identify as. That's not what your life is, a foster kid. No, that's not what it is. Trust me. I'm living proof of that. You can make it out of the system. Trust me, you can. The system is meant to be broken. Because it is broken, to be honest with you. So it's like, I'm just extremely excited about everything that God is doing and calling me to do. And like I said, the less distractions that I have, the more I can be reliant and dependent on God, and the more that I can be able to listen and, and be obedient. That's really all what it's about. So I'm extremely excited that I was able to muster up the guts to even do that, because, for the last couple of weeks, I've just been like, I guess just trying to find the right words to say to even put myself out there to become an inspirational speaker to, children and kids in the foster care and, aging out of foster care. I mean, I didn't have the opportunity to actually age out. When I turned 13, my mother, we go to court. The judge asks you, do you want to go with your mom, or do you want to stay in foster care? Of course, my mother coerced me, and I told the judge that I wanted to go with my mother. Oh yeah, that was fine. To be honest with you, I didn't care if I stayed in the foster home or if I went with my mother, either or. I mean, it didn't really matter to me one way or another, to be extremely honest with you. And then when I did tell the judge that I wanted to go, stay with my mother, I got back to the foster home. She wouldn't even let me in the house. She had 3 bags of black trash bags of my items sitting in front of the door. I wasn't even allowed to go back in the house. And I had been there since I was 2 years old. So the odds and the statistics have always been stacked up against me, and that was like, it just was what it was. I lived with my mother from 13 to 16, and I've been on my own since I was 16 years old. So taking care of myself, providing for myself, since I was pretty much 16 years old. So it's like, you can make it out of the system. If I can make it out of this system, trust me, anybody can make it out of this system. But I did go from system to system. I was in the foster care system, and I did end up going to prison. So after a while, I did become that statistic, but not anymore. Not anymore. I know who I am. I know that I want better for myself. And I know God has called me and has chosen me to help those that figure they can't get out of the system, or they have no other way or nowhere to turn to. Is because, like, when you are a foster child, you do feel abandoned, you do feel lost, you don't know who your real family is, you don't know who truly loves you, or if anybody even does love you. You look for love and appreciation from other things and other people, and that's how you get caught up. I mean, it's just the honest truth, to be honest with you. So it's like, I often think at times, like, what if me and my siblings weren't raised in the foster home? Because we don't have the greatest relationship with each other, even though we were all brought up in that same foster home. We don't have a loving relationship with each other. We don't. And it's like, would it have even mattered? We may have been better off being in separate homes, because we may have been able to experience life differently. But that's just not how it was. Everybody, you always hear people say, oh, you should thank God that you were raised with your siblings. And it's like, well, we didn't really get anything out of it. So we ran that home. We ran that foster home. That was our house. We were just walking paychecks, to be honest with you. So it was what it was at the end of the day. But being in foster care and being a foster kid, it doesn't define me as a person. That was what I had to deal with. That was my life. It wasn't my choice. That choice was made for me. But moving forward, I'm just going to keep moving forward. So I just want to be able to help those other children, and those kids aging out of foster care, to let them know that, hey, your life is not over. Your life is just beginning. The journey is beginning. Just because you're a foster kid, and in the system, you do not have to become a statistic. They do not have to keep you in this system because they want you to stay in the system. This system is meant for you to fail. Like I said, you go from system to system, and don't be a statistic. Be persistent, be consistent, keep God first, and all else will prevail. So I'm extremely excited about the new beginnings and everything that God is calling me to do. Next month is going to be a phenomenal month. It's going to be a very powerful month for me. I am sowing the seeds, or planting the seeds to elevate me and take this thing as far as I can, as far as God wants me to take it. So just be your best, strive for better. Help those in need. If you're one of those people and you like helping people, continue to do that. Continue to let God use you and be that light and that source that someone else needs. And that's just what I'm here for. So, have a great, great, great day. Being better every day in every way makes me better and better. So keep God first. Love on each other. Love on yourself, most importantly. Appreciate those who appreciate you. Spend time with the ones that you love, because time is the most valuable and most important thing that we can give someone that we love. So, happy Friday, and talk to you later. Bye.